I had my granddaughter Hazel today. Well, Millie Grace from next door, my other granddaughter, she was up here visiting too. All Millie Grace wants to do is make some videos. So we made a video today, but it didn't turn out good. So she's gonna have to help me tomorrow make a video. That's all she wants to do. Let's do a video on this, let's do a video on that. So I've got to let her help me make a video. But I had my granddaughter Hazel today, one of my great-granddaughters. Both of them are my great-granddaughters. And I want to tell the story of Hazel. Hazel will be a year old next month in March. And her mama wants the theme of her birthday party to be a lucky little girl. And there's a story behind that. When Hazel was 2 months old, she got real sick. Her mama took her to the hospital, and they couldn't diagnose her. Told her she was being over dramatic as a new mother, and so she took her to the pediatrician the next day. Same thing. They did a few tests, but they really just acted like that heaven was over exaggerating. So the third day, the baby was still real sick. Well, heaven knew something was bad wrong with her, so she carried her to a bigger hospital in another town. Immediately, they did a spinal tap. They diagnosed her with meningitis. She spent 2 months in the hospital. I had just gotten home from a trip out west 2 days before she had to go to the hospital. We spent 2 weeks in intensive care. She had to have surgery to have pus removed from her head. So they were just going to do burr holes, but they wound up cutting her, and she had to have pus removed. And as soon as they got the pus off of her brain, her fever, she stopped running the fever. But she was moved from intensive care over to the pediatric section, and that's what you call it, isn't it? Yeah, pediatrics. And we spent 2 months in there. Had wonderful doctors, but it was scary, very scary. So we're lucky that heaven feels very lucky that Hazel's made good progress since. After being in the hospital 2 months, she had to relearn to hold her head. She wasn't very strong, so she had to relearn to hold her head. But she was crawling before she was 7 months old, and now she's trying to walk. Happiest baby, sweetest baby. She is mama spoiled. Mama holds her all the time, so she's mama spoiled. But she is so sweet. They did test, and they think that she had hearing loss from the meningitis. Her mama doesn't think so. She the way she's learning to talk and the way she pays attention and all, she thinks that maybe she was just too young for them to test her hearing. She's had little hearing aids, but they outgrow their hearing aids really fast, so she's got to be fitted for more. But heaven wants them to retest her because she thinks that her hearing is better than they're saying. But it was a scary situation. So I think that's cool that her mama wants to have her because her birthday's in March. So with St. Patrick's Day and all, she wants to have her birthday party, lucky little girl. But she's just such a good-natured baby. She's just so sweet. Her mama's not that sweet. Her mama's kind of salty. So we don't know how Hazel's so sweet, but she is a sweetheart. Got curly hair. We don't have many children in our family that has curly hair, but she's got tight little ringlets and smiles. She smiles all the time, showing all them teeth. And she's just a really good-natured baby and all. But that is the story of Hazel. I had Hazel today, so I didn't get much done in my van. I had Hazel and Millie Grace out there in my van. Millie Grace was giving me suggestions on how I should do this and how I should do that and all, and wanting to help me. But when I have the kids here, I don't get much done. And tomorrow, I had a lot of work done on my van today. My son, I took it out to his house, to his garage. So that's going to be my story tomorrow on the repairs on my van. But I just had to tell the story of little Hazel. Since I had her today, her mama went to Walmart and left her with me for a few hours and all. And so I enjoyed a visit with Hazel today. And don't want Millie Grace to think she's slighted because I didn't use the video that we made. I kept trying to do a video with Hazel in it to try to tell her story, but you can't do a video with a baby moving around. You just can't get a video with a baby moving around. But that is Hazel Jane's story. Pick, pick, pick. Get her, get her. Get her, get her. Get her right there. Get her right there. Patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake, fast as you can. Roll 'em up, roll 'em up. Mark it with your pick. Patty cake, patty cake. Patty caking.